Hey guys, it's Mehdi from Embosoft with another tutorial. Today we are going to generating CSV file, PDF and Excel binary files in Python. Now let's just start from here from my PowerShell. I just want to go to my dev directory. I just want to create a new folder. I name it, for example, binary IO, and it's mcard dear. Okay, now from here I just want to open my Visual Studio Code. Before at all, if you don't have it, be sure you have Python on your system. In my case, I have a Python. I just want to create my first virtual environment. Python -m vnv vnv. Okay, as you can see, we are create our virtual environment. Now is the time to connect to, or we are active our virtual environment. Just type the name of our virtual environment and then a script and then active. Our virtual environment is active. Now let's just start with our CSV as file or binary file. From here I just want to create a folder. I name it CSV, and at the first create a first file. I name it create or generator or create, just simple create py. And now is it time to open our comma separated value CSV file. And after that I just want to create a new folder, or sorry, I just want to create a new method. I name it create CSV, and our CSV has three parameters. At the first, file name, as well our header. Our header is just column name actually, and our data. Actually, in this case, we just want to create our uh, CSV file. That means we don't need to define any data. Okay, now let's continue from here. I just want to use try to manage my error, and after that with open, what we want to open, our file name, file name. It will be checked if we don't actually, when we don't have any file to open, it will generate that automatically, and I write, and as I give a name for our opener, actually CSV file. Okay, great. And now from here I just want to we can just want to create a variable. I name it for example CSV creator or generator or creator, something like this, and CSV dot dict writer. Actually, there are two sample of CSV. If you want to work with dictionary, like JSON file, you can use dict writer. If you want to work with list of list, is the same as a list class, or just a simple array list. We can just write writer. And in this case, I just want to work with, for example, dictionary. I can just write dict writer. It's two different ways actually to create or to write and read our files. And it's depend to you how you are define your CSV and how you want to read out your file. And after that, let's do open at the first CSV file. This field names will be our header. Okay, great. Now let's continue. CSV creator dot write head. We call this method, and CS creator dot we want to write rows, where our rows will be actually at, we don't want to, if you want to, because I just want to create a separate file to write the file right inside file, we don't need to call this variable. Now let's do continue from expect ex except and I just want to manage my error, IO error and OS error, as I give a name just CSV file error. Okay, great. Now from here, what happened when we have error? I just want to write, for example, um, unable to create or write or create CSV file. Okay, now after that we can print our error from format. I just want to call this variable. Okay, CSV file error. It looks good. Okay. As you can see, if you don't have any auto pip 8 in your system, or you are not installed generally, or you can install on your virtual environment with pip install and auto pip 8 actually is allow you to format your code, and as you can see at this time now I allow to format my document. Now it looks better. Now is the time to call our variable to create our first CSV file. I just want to say if name equals main. Okay, now I just want to add the first, our method has a two parameter at the first file name. I say my file name will be a given name, for example, or just user info.csv, and after that the second parameter is header. Header must to be, it's depend to you what you want. For example, I name my file is user info, and every user, for example, has an ID, or I don't know, maybe age, or the first name, and age, or some things as maybe gender. And after that, I call my method create CSV. As you can see, needed two parameters. At the first, I give a file name, and second, I define a header. Okay, our file name and our header. It looks good. Now let's start or run our create Python file. Just want to, if you use under Windows, use Python, and then under our CSV folder, I just want to call our create. Now, as you can see, we are create our CSV file with four different header. As you can see, ID, name, gender, age, and gender. Now let's continue from here. I just want to create another file. In this time is reader or writer at the first. Writer dot pay. Actually, writer is the same as create, but in this time we need some other file, we must to define our data, and here we must do CSV creator dot write rows. We want to define a rows. Our rows will be our data from here, and here I just want to define a data, and it looks good. And okay, now as I say, I want to use dictionary. That means I create a list of dictionaries. If you want to work with a list of lists, you can do some things like this. But you must do here. We don't need to work with dictionary. We can just work with just simple writer. Just this simple writer will create a list of list. But as I say, in this case, I just want to use dict writer, and I just want to define a list of lists. Okay, at the first, for example, I just want to write just simple code. I just want to what we need here: ID, name, age, gender. Okay, ID will be, for example, things like this, and then name must to be, for example, in my case, and after that age must to be, for example, here. And what we need to define a gender. Must to be, for example, muscular. Okay, great. Now we have what we need. What happened here? Okay, maybe we are not allowed to start with 0. Okay. Now great. This time I just want to call my writer.py. We have some error here. Create a file name header. Oh, sorry. I forgot to define this third parameter. Is just our data. Okay, now as you can see, we are our first data. We are create our first writer file, and we are defined in our CSV file. Now let's continue from here. I just want to create a method to read our CSV file. From here, just I say reader maybe dot pay. Again, we must import CSV, and after that, div c or just reader CSV reader or just read CSV, and has a just one parameter because we just want to read our file. We need file name, and from here try and with open. Now our file name, we want to open our file name and read just one line to line. After new line, we need some empty file, and now as CSV, I give it just name file for my opener, and from here CSV now reader CSV.dict this time, not writer, dict reader. When you say you want to read your file as a dict and read your CSV file as this reader read your CSV file line to line as a JSON file, and CSV file. Okay, great. And now we need just simple for to record in CS reader, and now from here I just want to print any record. Okay, now looks good from here, except again we want to manage our error, IO error and OS error, as given name for our error file or CSV file error. Now from here again print and unable to open the CSV file, and now we can print our this error format CSV file error. And now it looks great. It's time to call our method. From here, if name equals actually main, now is the time to read. We call our method read CSV file and get a name. Actually, we can define a variable CSV file name, just user and now from here CSV file name. Okay, great. Now let's do run this time. Oops, reader. Okay, that's my bad. It's just one. Okay, no reader. Okay, great. As you can see, we are read our CSV file as a dictionary file. The first line has ID, name, age, and gender. Actually, as I say, we use dict reader. You are allowed to just simple reader. If I use this simple reader, as you can see, we read as a list of lists. Actually is the same. As you can see, it's a list of our, because this in this case read everything from line to line and without any dependency actually. And now we are we are at the first, we are print our header, and the second maybe we have empty file, empty line here, we can manage it. And the second or third line is the our file. But as I say, I prefer to use dict reader because this looks better, and we can use this file anywhere as API, or I don't know, or just anywhere that you want to use it. Now let's continue from here. After CSV, we want to work with Excel file or with XLSX prefix. Or now from here, I just want to create a file. The first file must to be, we want to create. How we can, okay, now from here we need to install some dependency, and from package manager, or be sure you have your virtual environment is active. And after that, I just want to search for XLSX writer Python install. From here we can install this package manager. I think there are some example, just simple example here. As you can see, it's pretty, it looks good, and is the same, actually is the same, just simple example here. Now let's do at the first, let's do install it. From here, no. Okay, install it successfully. We can check pip list. Now we are our package. Okay, great. Now let's just start from here. I just want to import XLSX writer. The first, actually in this time we must define more different method. Let me to open just simple Excel file. As you can see, every Excel file or Excel file has more or more, yes, actually more sheet, and this we call it worksheet. And or let me to say another way, actually every XLSX files XLSX files are binary files that are used to store actually our tabular data. That means at the first we need to this this page is just a workbook. Each XLSX file is called the workbook. That means the first page is just actually you must suppose it is just simple, just like your database. You are define your table, and every table has some some every database has some table. Is the same actually. In this case, we must to define our workbooks, and every workbook has the more actually worksheet. Now let's to continue from here. At the first, I just want to div workbook. That means I just want to define my first workbook, and okay, file name, and if sorry, create workbook. At the first, we must to create our first workbook, as you can see. And okay, workbook. The this is my variable. I just say XLX writer dot workbook, as you can see. And this workbook need a name. Is the same with our database. Our database or our workbook need a name. I type this file name because we want to call this method file name. Okay, and return our workbook. Okay, looks. And after that, as I said, inside each workbook there can be one or more worksheet. That means inside our workbook we can define one or more worksheet, and I just want to say div create worksheet from this workbook. Okay, and now let's to continue. I create a new worksheet variable, and from workbook just add a we need to from here, from our workbook we are return our workbook to add worksheet. As you can see from here, every worksheet can have a name. For example, auto list, or I don't know, maybe teams or users. I just want to, for example, give a name for users, and after that just return my worksheet. Okay, great. Now from here let's to continue. It's a time after create our workbook and create our worksheet is a time to write the data inside our worksheet. For this, I just want to create a new variable, or to create a new method. I name it write data. My the first parameter will be worksheet, and second parameter will be data. And now for row in range, that actually from we use this range because we don't know how many cells we need. We can define, as you can see as well, we can define more as well. We can from here, because after that when we are define our data is automatically check to how many range of cell need to pass our data inside inside the worksheet. From here I just say len, for example, of data. At the first we must to know our data, len or length of our data, and the second for column or cell in range len data row. Okay, great. And now from here at the end we need to say our worksheet dot write row at the first. We will define it column, and our data must to be row and column. Okay. What we need at the end, one we need to close our workbook. For I just want to create a new method. Close workbook. The workbook that close. It's actually just need a name of our workbook to close it. And now is the time to call our methods here. From here, if names equals main, from here data at the first for our worksheet we must to define a list of list. For example, user, just from here I create a new list. I just want to work with ID, for example, ID, and the second parameter maybe age or gender, actually is better, and again ID and gender, again ID, for example, okay, and then gender. After that, the after create data, it's time to we need a file name, file file name, or it's better actually to, because we call workbook everywhere, I prefer to say my workbook, not close. Okay, I define a variable, I name it workbook. Okay, now that the first method is create a workbook, I give a name, for example user workbook dot XLSX, and be sure must to be on double quotation from here. And now it's time to, we need to define our worksheet. From here I call worksheet method. Our worksheet method need a workbook. That means I just paste this variable here because I return it from here, and after create this file I return this name, and this worksheet method allow to work with this file name. In this case is user workbook. And after that is time to, I just want to write, okay, now write data. I just want to call this method, and data must to be worksheet, and the second parameter is data. At the end I just want to call the third here method. I just want to close close workbook. We want to close our workbook here. Okay, great. Now it's time to test our create Excel file or XLSX file. Let's do test it. Just this time I write Python and then XLSX and I call create. Okay, great. As you can see, we are create our Excel file or XLSX file. Now that's worked correctly. Now it's time to read our file, our XLSX file. For this, I just want to create a new file. I name it reader.py, and from here it's pretty easy to read. Actually, we need to install some dependency at the first. For read Excel file, I just want to pip, or at the first I write here that pip install. What we need to install? We need to install XLRD and pip install pandas. Okay. If you want to know more about this two dependency, from here we can open it. There are more documentation, as you can see, and this is a library for reading data and format information from Excel, and file is historical XLS format, And now as you can see there are some warning and quick start, and as you can see, and okay, great. And I just want to use these pandas because I want to do something else. I will show you, and I will install both of them. Take a Okay, after installing, I install XLRD, and now let's start. I just want to import pandas as PD, and from here data just I give a name, actually data frame, for example. This is my variable name, and I say PD dot read. As you can see, we are so many different files. It's great. It's actually stop. You can read HTML, JSON, or you can work with any files, Excel, SQL, or anything else. Read Excel, and in this time need a name of our Excel file. In our case, is just here, just simple. And the second parameter actually is you can see is the sheet name, and our sheet name I cannot remember actually from create sheet name. Okay, I name it SS. Okay, or I think it's user sheet dot x. Just give a name. Just as a name, the simple name, user sheet. Okay, and here from here I say sheet name must to be user sheet, and after that I just want to print data frame. Okay, great. As you can see, there are more other parameter. You can define the list. You can say you can work, for example, with data type, your type, and what's interesting actually, you can check this documentation, and you can be sure supports, as you can see, XLSX, or any file and folder. Okay, now let's do read our Excel files, Python X reader. Okay, we have some error here, missing opened this sample XLSX, and then we'll define our file. Okay, reader 5, line 5. What missing dependency? Yes, as you can see, there are some other dependency, and is called open XL. Let's install it. Pip install open PyXL. Now let's to check it again. Now, as you can see, workspace, worksheet name not found. It's not possible to find our user sheet, not found. This user sheet not found. Because I create as SS. That means if I change it to SS. Okay, now it's great. As you can see, we are reading our Excel file and with some information actually. I change this name, for example. Now, as you can see, we can change this file and name. Or at the first time, I just try to work with some. We just try to work with ID and name, or just you can do what you want actually. Now let's do the third practice. From here we just want to create a PDF file. Under PDF I just want to create a PDF, create.py. And how we can create a PDF, we need to install some other dependency. Pip, for example, install print. Now from here, now we want to work with this package manager. At the first we will install it. Okay, great. After install, I will save from this print import HTML. That means actually we are allowed to work with any more files. If I open this file again, we are allowed to work. I don't know, is there any documentation maybe here? Yes. Now as you can see, documentation, in my case Windows. Okay, after install this packet manager. Okay, now as you can see, we can directly convert our HTML file or HTML website to PDF, and just needed, this is just simple code. Take a HTML address with HTTP and convert it to our PDF file with address and the name. Or if you want to get CSS file, it's possible as well. As you can see, we can get style sheet CSS file. And what we can do anymore, this is just another example. For example, we can give a name, we can give it time for our file and folder. Now as you can see, there are pretty good, actually this is pretty good documentation. And let's to continue from here. I just want to create my first method, generate PDF, and as at the first parameter must to be URL, which website actually you want convert which HTML file to PDF file, and the second will be PDF or just without PDF, just file name, PDF file name. Okay, now from here I just to call HTML and need a URL. URL must be our URL, and the second parameter is the name of write PDF file. This the second will be file name. Now let's call our method. If, for example, name and from here just main. Actually, if you want, every time you are allowed to use try is expect IO. Actually, this time error. We can manage every time our file and folder from try and except, and I suggest it to use it. Actually, it's depend to you. Now I just want to define URL. I don't know which URL we can open. Maybe this URL. Okay. And the second parameter must be PDF or just my file name. I give a name for our PDF. For example, is I name it XLSX installation, for example, something like this. And what we need to at the first we need to call our generation PDF with two parameters at the first URL and the second file name. Okay, great. Now let's test our PDF file. From here I just want to write Python and then PDF and then create. Take a second, maybe, or something is wrong. Okay, great. As you can see, we are create our file, but unfortunately I forgot to say I need a PDF. Let me to create it again. Okay, now as you can see, we are create our PDF file. Let's me to open pad. Okay, now from here, as you can see, we are converting our this website to PDF. It looks great, and every time you are allowed to create a PDF from your logic or dynamic file, or you are allowed to have for user for your website some actually it's pretty good and it's pretty easy if you use Django or some things or some another uh, web developer apps. You are allowed to use Python, actually Python dependency or Python package manager. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like it, subscribe my channel for more videos, and have a nice day.